Hi there. Are you preparing for the Cambridge Certificate of Proficiency in English exam CPE? Would you like to know more about the speaking test and how to approach it? If you're saying yes to these questions, then keep watching. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Learning Together with Robert. If this is your first time visiting me, thank you for being here. And if you're back, thank you very much for your support, because without it, this wouldn't make any sense. If you haven't subscribed, why not do it now and give us a like? Those of you who have already been here, you can fast forward to the main part of the video. I just want to welcome our new visitors. I'm Robert Martinez, and I have been an English teacher since 1994 and a teacher educator and language assessment specialist for almost 20 years now. It's been an incredible journey, having lived and worked in 9 different countries. I'm a self-tutor and assessor, online moderator, a full-time director of studies, and tutor on the IHCYLT course teaching English to young learners and teenagers, and I enjoy being in the classroom both face-to-face and online. If you want to know more about my professional background, experience, and qualifications, I've put a link to my LinkedIn profile and a link to a video cartoon version of my CV to jazz things up in the description box below. Feel free to check them out. Right, listen carefully because this is my disclaimer. All information used for this video was taken from the Cambridge English website, CPE examination, and the sample paper given there. Right, let's get started. Today, I want to share with you my methodology pill number 32. CPE speaking test tips you need. Let's bear in mind that the Cambridge CPE exam tests your skills at the highest level on the Common European Framework of Reference at C2 level. So is the farthest you can go. Right, remember that the CPE exam is like at any other exam. You're there to talk. Imagine that you're having a conversation with the interlocutor and don't think very much about the other person, the assessor, behind the interlocutor. Try and have a conversation as naturally as possible. Breathe in, relax, and try and think of it as if you're sharing a cup of coffee with someone else. Like with me, maybe. In part 1, there are some introductions, and the interlocutor will ask you for your name and surname, and most probably where you're from and what you're doing at the moment. And then we'll proceed to asking some questions of a personal nature, like we do in natural conversation. Make sure that you're relaxed, that you give as much information as possible. In part 1, you're going to be asked some personal information questions, and they could be about anything and everything. Some examples from the Cambridge website are those that you would naturally hear in a conversation. How much free time do you have at the moment? How good are you at organizing your time? What would your dream job be? So be prepared and practice answering lots of different types of questions. This is definitely going to help you. Remember that part 1 lasts 2 minutes. If you're a couple, and 3 minutes for groups of 3. So in those 2 minutes, you have basically about a minute to answer those questions that you may be asked at the beginning. Do make sure that you keep them short, simple, but at the same time that you try and give as much information as possible. In part 2, you're given a combined task. The first part, you talk to your partner and you discuss 2 of the pictures pointed out by the examiner amongst the pictures given to you. Make sure you look at the pictures and that your work is along with your partner, that you work together. The key word here is together. For this part of part 2, where you work together with your partner on the description of those 2 pictures given, you have about a minute for this, and what people are looking for is interaction. So make sure that you keep the interaction flowing as it was a tennis match. Don't hug the time, and remember that you need to work together. It's not a monologue as in normal conversation. In the second half of part 2, you're then stopped and invited to look at the whole situation again and then decide which issue or idea might be the most important or most stimulating with your partner. Do make sure that in this second half, you also work with your partner closely. In this second half of part 2, where you need then to make a decision with your partner about the pictures that you're discussing, you are given 3 minutes to talk about this and 4 minutes if it is a group of 3. Make sure you use the time to have a good discussion and that you work together, interact as much as you can with your partner. In part 3, the last part, you start by speaking for 2 full minutes in answer to a question posed. Be careful, because if you're not the one speaking initially, then you need to listen to what the other person is saying, as you will be invited into the conversation, and this is very important. Remember that in this part of the test, you're given a card with prompts for you to read so that you can then base your 2-minute answer on the prompts and the topic on the card. Make sure you don't hold the card and that you leave it on the table and that you allow your partner to see the card. They will need to do the same when it's their turn so that you know the topics and can see the prompts that are there, as this will help you then comment when you're invited at the end of the long term. Once the 2 minutes are over, the interlocutor will thank you and then ask the other candidate a few questions about the topic. Make sure that if you're not the one speaking then, that you are ready to answer or give an opinion on questions regarding the topic the other person spoke about. The same process is repeated for the other candidate. In the final part of the test, the interlocutor then asks several questions to both candidates. This part may take up to 4 minutes. Be ready and alert, as you may be asked that question directly or asked to discuss it with your partner. And remember, chill out and give as much information as possible and think that you're having a conversation with me. Well, we've come to the end, but I will be sharing more exciting videos, so stay tuned and subscribe. Do let me know in the comments box if you have any special requests, and I'll try to make a video about them if there are enough of you commenting. Do share this video with your friends, and can I ask you a favor? Hit that like button so that more people can see this video. Bye for now, and remember, learning is fun and you don't have to do it alone. So let's do it together with Robert.